Hey guys, I'm in Washington, D.C. and the Washington Memorial Mind Control Grid obelisk is behind me. And today I wanted to talk to you about the antidote to some of the matrix gridding that exists. As I am here in Washington, D.C. and there's all these different things that are put in place to keep certain energy frequencies moving through our collective, I wanted to create an antidote to what that actually is. So what is happening? So, you know, some of the things that we know that are going on are like the Pizzagate, the stuff with children, right? And so as I was thinking about, well, what's the antidote to this power control mechanism? The first thing that came to me, well, is innocence, is purity, is childlike nature, because that's actually what they're using physically, energetically, astrally to create the actual matrix itself. They're using children for that very thing. So it must be that then the children are the solution and the children within are the solution. So if we're thinking about the different things that we can do, rather than thinking about out there and them and those guys doing that, where can we have our own personal return to innocence? And that is the very thing that they don't have. And so they have to create things like this to try and control it and actually take it from others, take that purity, take that innocence from others that have it, especially children, to use that power to do what they want. And so inherently in that means that purity and innocence and childlike nature actually has power. And I think that's something that we've never been told. And so much of it has been, you know, taken from us as we get, you know, circumcised and our freaking umbilical cord chopped off when the blood flow's still going. You know, these things of innocence are quite immediately, you know, taken from us in this paradigm. And I'm not into the idea of playing victim. So what can we do to restore that? What can we do to acknowledge it and retrieve and bring back that power in us and cultivate that energy? And so that goes into a lot of soul retrieval work. That goes into reclaiming the inner child. And as we reclaim the innocence in the inner child, what will that do? That actually brings us back into our fullness, back into our power. And then we have the same power that they're attempting to use. And one of the things that happens is when it can be purely used and purely witnessed in the proper way, this use of pure childlike power, it can begin to alter and shift what they are and what they need. And what they is really these people, these energies, these beings that actually are seeking this love, seeking this innocence, seeking this purity. So it's the very thing that they want. It's the very thing that they felt was taken from themselves. And they may just not have known that either. And so ultimately we're all seeking this same thing. So what are some ways that we can do it, that we can bring back this power within us? Well, through really taking time to tap into our childlike innocence and wonder, because it's something that we don't do. Part of this paradigm, again, makes us like go, 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 busy, 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 and we don't have the moments in life where we just come over here and we look at, for instance, the way that the wind like blows these leaves and the sound of it and how it's talking to us and what is it teaching us, and feeling this connection to ourselves. So it's really letting curiosity and wonder and imagination and just real presence and playfulness like this. Oh, this is super cute. this dad, I don't know if you can see it, playing with his kids. That's so perfect. It's exactly what I'm talking about. That right there is the antidote to that. And so bringing back that innocence and the laughter. So how do you do that yourself? One, smile. So we know that actually just smiling releases happy hormones, happy endorphins that actually makes us happy. So faking a smile will actually help. Just turning your mouth up will begin to open the crown chakra and open your heart and begin to create a different way of thinking, a different way of being. So the first thing you can do is just begin smiling. The second thing you can do is give time and space to the child. The time, like a child, that's what it needs, is time and space. And as I've been in these cities and been in different hotels, there's clocks everywhere, right? And so what is one of the things that innocence needs? It needs time and space to grow. Like a kid at the beach needs hours to be at the sandcastle. So kind of taking away time as a function of controlling your life and going, okay, I'm gonna give my inner child like a whole afternoon to just play. So it's really coming back to the inner child. And so when we're talking about inner child, which is a whole big topic, what did you love to do when you were a kid? How did you like to explore? Was it in nature? Was it creating music? Was it creating art? Was it just being with friends? Was it laughing? Was it playing games? What was it? And so really dedicating some time and space to that, dedicating some time and space to the child within you, and asking he or her inside what they need, what they want. And oftentimes there are those spaces of trauma that take us out of that and actually push the most sensitive, innocent parts of ourselves out of kind of like our soul wholeness. And so it's really about taking the time to bring those back. And that might be with a particular healer. It can just be in opening a dialogue and a conversation about what has gone on in the past with you. And it can also be just listening, because if you begin to listen and give that space, that child within you will come back. So there are many things to do. There are many things that you can do to cultivate these different energies. It's just the big idea of bringing back the wonder, bringing back the play, bringing back the fun. And that is the antidote to this, which is the mind control, which is the mind. Because it is only through the mind that we can be taken over. And when we're in our hearts, which is innocence, which is playfulness, which is fullness, and we're in our bodies, again, going back to the grounding. If you haven't checked out that video of mine and the meditation that I did with it, go check it out. You can't be controlled, you can't be taken over. So that's one of the big benefits of going back into this childlike nature, is getting out of the head. And then you can be free. It's really important to remember too that there is power in these kinds of things. And as I've been around Washington, D.C., I saw a Toltec head, the giant stone heads that create their own scalar device that are like very potent devices like these. And so as we get into these spiritual modalities and these different technologies and these different tools, they work. And so if they work on the positive side, they can also work on this side. But just realizing that as we come into this and we come into the power of crystals, we come into the power of organite, we come into the power of certain structures, certain designs, certain ley lines, certain chakra points and vortices all over the world, those are influencers. And so when we're in these spaces, whether it's from Hawaii to Sedona to Uluru, they are potent. And so when we can go to these places, we're also embedding into the grid. And so just emanating, just us right now feeling this, just you watching this, is changing the grid, because this is an antenna. And so whatever's being put out through it is what the collective is. And so remembering that, and as you're watching this right now, tuning in to the innocence and letting that transmit energetically tuning into your heart and letting it transmit through this antenna right here through the whole collective on our globe, and realizing the different networks that have been set up for us that we can use to put out different information. And that's what I'm doing here right now. Me doing this video is having an influence on the grid. And you watching this video right now and you tuning into your inner child energy and giving space to it and honoring the children coming in right now and the wonder and the wisdom that they have to share, and feeling that energy being pulsed out through this right here is powerful. So as you're watching this, let that happen, and maybe even after this video ends, give a few minutes and just meditate on that energy, particularly right here, transmitting out in a new way, in a new frequency, and it makes a difference. Okay. So this is the way that we can liberate ourselves. This is the way that we can liberate our greater collective selves, is to be open to this freedom, be open to the playfulness, and really give the childlike innocence, whether it's in yourself or in actual children around you, the space to come into their full power, because that is where the power lies, is with the children. And we have to take that as precious. We have to make it a priority to let that really grow and expand. So this is my DC download, and I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I'll have more videos. I just wanted to bring that idea and perspective to you, because so much is going on in our world right now, and so much of the focus is on them or that, and it's like, okay, what's the antidote right here? So I hope you enjoy, and I'll be back next week with another video. Like, share, subscribe.